The first photograph is a vortex, and you can see it coming out of the girl's hand when she's making a peace sign. As she explained to me, there was no towels or nothing hanging from the ceiling when she took the photograph. And unfortunately, this particular phone is of the very early phones with a camera in them, so the quality is rather poor. But it does look rather odd. Now, I've seen these actually in physical form, and not just on a photograph, coming out of me when I was in Kyoto, and could just feel the energy being pulled off of me by some spirit or something. And apparently these girls, while they were playing around, had the same similar feeling when they came running to me to take a look at the photograph. And sure enough, it looks like what is a classic vortex phenomenon. The next photograph in the series, it comes from the same place as the previous photograph, and as well as the previous series of 5 ghosts. This town was pretty much haunted everywhere. The school was built on a grave site, which of course made everything worse. This particular photograph, I was trying to capture this male ghost for a long time, and the other students had seen him walking up and down the halls. I had one incident where I was teaching English to 3 boys and 3 girls in one of the older rooms, when the broken speaker started to give off static, and then a shout came through of it, of a very strong male voice. The 3 girls shivered in their seats, and one of the girls started to cry. And I heard it, and I looked at him and asked him, what was that? The odd thing is, the other 3 boys didn't hear a thing, and they were like, hey, what's going on, kind of thing. It was very creepy experience. So I spent a lot of time trying to get the photograph of this guy who just stalks up and down the halls, especially when the kids are quietly studying for tests or something. And he hung down at the lower level for the most part. And finally, I got his reflection on the second photograph you'll see in this series. He's surrounded by all kinds of other people that no one had ever seen. I had never seen. But he's the one that's sort of just sitting straight up on the left side in the middle of the glass. The next photograph comes from when my ex-wife and I were just driving through several towns, and we came through this forest, and for no reason at all my instincts felt like that there was something there, so I asked her to go out and pose as a ghost, and with just the kimono on and the skull you can see next to it, that's all, those are just props. And when I blew up the picture, you can see her face is completely distorted by whatever. I have no idea what that was. And maybe somebody was murdered or buried there. I'm not sure. And next to her head looks like a head of the infamous cult leader Asahara, who was reigning at the time. And just next to its head looks like another ghost just barely making its way in. It's kind of hard to tell. In any case, this was a very creepy shot. I don't think I have anything that is quite as distorted as this, except for my ex-wife's deceased mother, which is in the first series. The next photograph is from the same town where most of these photographs have been taken from. This town really seems to have quite a history of paranormal activity. This photograph was taken in my apartment, the window facing the graveyard, when again I felt a lot of uneasiness and disturbance within the house. Grabbed my digital camera, which at that time the quality wasn't so great, but started shooting outside, and sure enough, this figure with a demon next to it and what looks like a dragon coming over the top of his head appeared in the window, and it did come out in this really foggy night. There isn't much to say about this photograph other than it looks like what is called an Ikea Doll, or a living ghost. Looks like it's going out to possess somebody. What I find interesting about the photograph is its orange hue with this demon-like figure in white, and the dragon-like head on the top of his head also in the same orange hue. The last photograph in this series was taken in New York. I was playing with some friends, the girl looking out the window and my sister looking inside the window. And you can see the girl's reflection in the window, and of course that's just her face reflecting in the window, and my sister's ex-husband photographing from the outside inwards. What I found peculiar were the figures behind my sister's head in front of the shop across the street. And there was no parade or anybody walking around looking like that that I remember seeing when I took the photograph. I was sure I would have noticed something like that. So I have no idea what those figures are. If anybody knows anything like that, please put in the comments. This is not a place where you do street performance or anything like that. It's not that busy of a street. The green circle represents what looks like just as a reference of a customer entering the shop. Can't really see its head, so it looked a little bit odd, but I think it's just right behind the doorway's frame. So that didn't seem very paranormal. It was just as 3 figures circled in red that I found quite odd. If anybody knows what those are, please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this.